Let it go.
We present to you a Rome Productions.
What's good, everybody? If you're first time viewing my content or this video, like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So today I was going through Pinterest and I ran across a lot of Buddhist quotes, and Buddha is the most intelligent black man that I have ever ran across throughout history. So there was just one quote that really hit me, right? Actually two quotes. The first quote was, "Hate is heavy. Let it go." The second quote that really hit me was when he said, "There are no enemies outside of your soul. The real enemies live inside of you: anger, ego, greed, and hate." There's an old saying in Africa, it's an African proverb that says, once you defeat and conquer the enemy within, no enemy outside of you can harm you. So when you're dealing with the analysis here of dealing with your enemy and what is truly holding you back, you have to deal with it and let it go. This kind of brings me back to when you see a lot of these pro-black men and women always talking about how the white man did this, the white man did that, and their number one enemy, the number one person that's holding them down and oppressing them is the white man. And it got me thinking, like, what if the white man's not our enemy? Now hear me out. Hear me out. Who's the number one person that's procrastinating in your life? Who's the number one person that's holding you back in your life? Who's the number one person that isn't getting you up to work out? Who's the number one person that isn't motivating you enough to do better, to be slow to anger, not being bipolar, not leading to conclusions, not letting your emotions get the best of you? Who's the number one person that's overthinking in your life? Who's the number one person that keeps putting unhealthy things in your body? Because it's not the white man. Who's the number one person that's truly holding you back in your life? Because it's not the white man. Who's the number one person that keeps letting emotions get the best of them in your life? Because it's not the white man. It's the person you see in the mirror every day. And you refuse to deal with your issues within, so you always want to pick and blame everybody else outside of you. Have women out here talking about these men ain't ish, these men are trash. It's always you men that are not appreciating us. But do you appreciate yourself? You have these men out here talking about these women ain't ish, these women are trash, these women never care about us, they don't want to understand us. But do you even know yourself? It's when you have to come to the analysis of who truly is causing the most destruction in your life. Is it you or the white man? Is it the person you see in the mirror every day, or white supremacy? See, even in the Bible, it tells you that you wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities in high places. They're not talking about heaven. They're not talking about hell. They're not even talking about people within this world. They're not talking about demons. They're not talking about spirits. They're talking about anger, greed, ego. If you look at the 7 abominations in the book of Proverbs, it's not talking about people. It's talking about the 7 things that can really damage and ruin your body inwardly. Things that can attack your soul. You have the 7 virtues and you have the 7 abominations. And this brings me back to something that I saw from this beautiful woman, the Goddess Perception. Y'all should follow her on Instagram and on YouTube. But it brings me back to something that she said in a video where she says that I'm not going to get mad and get in my feelings and be reactionary over things that I can't change. This brings me back to another Buddha quote where he says, if you can't change a situation, change your perspective of the situation. And see, through the media, social media, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, a lot of stuff will be portrayed to you concerning police brutality, white supremacy, feminism, all type of stuff, right? And it's constantly thrown at you. So you constantly think you're the minority. You constantly think that you're people of color. You constantly think that you're the oppressed. And as long as you keep putting yourself in that box, look at the way that your life is going. Now, most people who consider themselves oppressed never really go anywhere in life. Because the people who aren't oppressed are the people who think outside of the box. But then again, what do you expect from these people? These people have literally identified themselves with being a victim. That's their identity. That they're the most oppressed, the most neglected and disrespected, all this, that, and the third. That's what they have identified themselves with being a victim, with being oppressed, with being inferior, the minority. So you can't tell them otherwise. That's what they love to do. They don't want to resolve their problems because that's who they are. That's their identity. If they don't have that perception of them being oppressed and the most disrespected and neglected and most underachieved and most underappreciated, then they won't know who they are. Which is ironic because they always want to talk about how they made civilizations and you're kings and queens, yet you're not respected. I don't know. If you constantly looking on your phone, and looking at all the stuff bad happening to other black people, and you correlate that to your life, and you keep being reactionary, you're going to be stressed out. You're going to have anxiety. You're going to think of yourself as lesser than, because that's what the media is telling you. You're oppressed. But now, understand that you can't change the situation of these individuals. So you have to change your perception. This isn't to be insensitive, but you got to be real with yourself. Instead of reacting to everything by emotions, learn to respond with thought. In conclusion, if you can't accept it, change it. And if you can't change it, leave it. There's no use in you continuing to protest and be mad about something that you can't change. There's no use in you over here singing Negro spiritual songs, you continuing talking about how you're the most oppressed, the most disrespected, unprotected, and neglected. And it continues to happen time and time and time again. Why does it continue to happen? Because when you have a victim mentality, you're not looking to change your predicament. You're just continuing to complain. It's time for you to stop being the victim and become the victor. Because you continuing to be a victim to situations that you quote unquote can't change will not get you anywhere. You continuing to blame other people for how you emotionally feel will not get you anywhere. Jill Scott said that the revolution will not be televised. Why? Because the first act of revolutionary is changing the mind. The mind is all. And however you see and perceive life becomes your reality. But until next time, I'm Tyrone. Thank you for watching this video. If you like what to say, if you did not like what to say, let your thoughts be known in the comment section below. Until next time, I'm Tyrone. Again, thank you for watching this video. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with other people. Until next time, I'm Tyrone, and I am out.
You know I will provide that good shit for you. You know I will provide that good shit for you. You know I will provide that good shit for you. You know I will provide that.
Look like Papa got a brand new bag. Any man who mad, tell him ooh fucking fam too bad. Known to spit with the coldest with no particular motive. I've grown a bit till I notice what phony bitches are bogus. I bring doom to any MF, I'm a mad villain. I son niggas, my songs give you a dad feeling. The groovy new emperor, known to move temperatures. Life's a bitch but she keeps sending me nude pics of her. She let it all hang out without shame. Through stories of each previous spouse about fame. Trying to remove a skirt made of doubt and clout games. Then penetrate her until her mouth spit out change. Nevertheless, they can't measure my fresh. No rest till the devil is stressed. Tell him I'm blessed. I'm smiling, staring down a barrel of fear. Any competitor